Hey, everybody. I hope you're doing really well, wherever you're listening to me on. So, in today's podcast, recording this on a Sunday morning, I just want to go ahead and pretty much go ahead and talk about a couple of broad things I wanted to mention here, which, for one, what I've been doing lately, and what I've been doing, which is pretty much something I wanted to bring all of you. That's Um, that's pretty much trying to find out what's going on. Am I still doing the podcasts? So the answer is yes, I am. Also, I just started a regular job, like pretty much the basic 9 to 5, and that's what's keeping me in pretty much in motion right now. So I haven't put in the time to get a recording out because of it. But yeah, overall, that's part of why I haven't even been doing regular uh scheduled podcasts. So that's why you're not able to hear or see a release on brand new podcasts. But now with episode 178, so I wanted to go over something that I've missed for pretty much the last few weeks, which is something I wanted to go over. And today will be a really good thing to talk about. For one, I wanted to go over about Allturn Space, a brand new company that me and Michael have pretty much came up with an idea of alternative of social media, and something that you're going to be interested on why this decentralized social media website is definitely going to be a game changer, and what makes this very different for the rest of a lot of the social medias like MySpace, Facebook, or even Twitter for that matter as well too. So I'll begin on that in today's episode. And then last and not least, I wanted to talk about the future of graphics card, where it's going right now and where it is heading. So I will talk about that in today's episode. So before we begin, I want to go ahead and give a few shout out to today's sponsors. First and foremost, so before we go on today's episode, I want to give out a shout out to Grubhub. If you've not heard about Grubhub, it is absolutely amazing. I definitely recommend it for anybody that's looking to do any uh shopping or any food delivery coming right at your door. So if you're someone that doesn't want to cook anything for the meal of the evening, or just feel lazy of doing it, well, heck, r- right there, I'd say give Grubhub a try. I loved Grubhub, and I don't use it very often, but whenever I don't want to cook, Grubhub is pretty much one of my choices. So, right there, I'd say give Grubhub a good try. And if you sign up for Grubhub Plus gives you access to spend $10 whenever you go to a restaurant publicly and out, and you can use your Grubhub Plus to pick up your order or just go out to eat. And I do love that option right there when using Grubhub Plus. So it's not a bad deal per se too. So if you want to just go out, spend some time and eat somewhere, then all right. So with that said, give Grubhub a try. So what are you waiting for? And then next on the list, it is Blueberry. If you've not heard about Blueberry, I don't know what you're missing. Seriously, Blueberry has been around since the dawn of podcasting times. I'll tell you right now too. If you're looking to record in your podcast and pretty much invest your time into podcasting, please do so. I think this is going to be a very good time to start doing podcasting, and the better you start early as of right now to invest in your podcast or in your show, the better it is to do this. Because Blueberry, if you are going to sign up for Blueberry, I definitely recommend checking their services out. Great customer support. and love their services. I love the fact that you can actually start off with 1 month free, and if you don't like Blueberry or the host, then of course, there's no strings attached, so you can go ahead and cancel Blueberry anytime within before 30 days. And besides, what's to lose really? So if you want to, go ahead and check out Blueberry, B uh, Lubrry, Blueberry. So go ahead and check it out. I'll have the promotional link down in the description below. So go ahead and check that out as well. Lastly, on the promotionals and sponsors, it's gonna have to be Zenni's, Zenni, Zenni's Optical. I have to tell you this: if you work in the computer a lot, if you're working in front of a monitor like I do, and if you really need glasses to see, then Zenni's is the way to go. Or if you just need a good pair of anti-blue light glasses, um, it works well and wonders, and something I I pretty much vouch on Zenni's. And then the glasses, even though they do take longer to ship, I have to say I definitely vouch up for Zenni's. And of course, if you want to know your pupillary dilatation, I would say go to your uh, eye doctor for more of that information. So, and before making a purchase on a prescription glasses, so that way you can get the right prescriptions, which that would be the smart thing to do as well. But yes, uh, definitely vouch up to Zenni's. I've been wearing Zenni's for about 2 years and really love them a lot. So with that said, go ahead and check out Zenni's and click down in the affiliate link down below too. Even if you're not a glasses um, wearer like myself, often I would say use it while you're working the computer. That way, it doesn't harm your vision down the long run too. Because just like studies show, the more you're exposed to blue light, the worse your eyes will get affected to, down the road. So go ahead, check out Zenni's. You won't regret it. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Leon, I'm back here on episode 178. My God, it's been some time. And the excuse of not recording, for one, I just started a part-time job. Part-time job over at a local restaurant, which is around the corner from my house. And and I've definitely had to find some work, and of course make a little bit of income on the side, so so that way I can have something to rely on. But regardless, I think it is about time to get some things working, and especially with weeks of I haven't recorded because of conflict of my work schedule, and that's why a lot of things are not really balanced the way I want to. So there's just been a lot that I really wish that I had more time than I had, which I wish I had to. And thankfully, I am recording this on a Friday morning, 8:36 a.m. So it's actually great that I am actually uh, going over an episode and taking the time to record, which is so awesome. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. At last. So goodness gracious. So man, it's gonna be a good time to start talking about technology again. I mean, a lot of things are happening around, since now we're arriving towards second quarter of the year. And also I'm recording on a April Fools, which is more funny enough as this is, because I mean, my God, this is like what, April April 1st. I'm making a recording, and no April Fools at all. I mean, seriously. Finally doing a recording and getting this launched out before my work day. So that's actually awesome on its own. So woohoo, good on me, I guess. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about what's going on, especially well, eternally what's going on in my world, but also things what's going on with GPU, um, the GPU world especially too. Which I know that that's something that I haven't talked about too much on the podcast. Maybe some episodes back, but I wanted to go and get back to you my thoughts on graphics card, which that's something I would love to get my hands on. Hopefully, if I have a budget to spare, I'd love to spend on the graphics card and probably test it out on my machine if possible. Right now, I am still happy with the 3060 RTX graphics card, which is pretty much great with what I have with gaming, and I truly love that you can just use it for video editing, and it's great for what I'm doing for everyday basics. I'm very happy with it too. But I mean, it wouldn't hurt to get another one due to. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows what's going on in the world, especially with inflation, what's happening. And I'm sure all of you guys know this already enough that uh, so much of a mess it's going on with the economy, not just the U.S. but everywhere else. And however, I think we're definitely going to see a crash on GPUs at some point. And I'm not just because I'm just getting this out of the article, but I think there's gonna be at some point stability on the market because GPUs. I mean, let's face it though, they're so expensive at this point, and if you try to get any graphics card right out off of any website right now too, it is horrendous. It is expensive as hell to find a good graphics card out in the open on any website, and I'm sure nobody in their mom's right mind will go out and spend over $1,000 over on eBay's scalper's price. I mean, would you now? Would you? So I know that for one, I know I'm not gonna go out and start spending a price on uh, anything over 1,000, which is very unrealistic. Since that's not my budget right now, I would never dare to go out and do that. But I definitely want to wait for normalization, which that's something it will end up coming up, and it looks like May is definitely coming around really soon. And if you're looking for a good graphics card, there is some hope. And finally, we have some actually pretty good news on it too. I mean, despite of a shitty economy that we definitely have a good indicator, and it looks like someone published this back 3 days ago over on Tom's Guide. And so, I am happy to say that we're definitely going to a good track to the right direction as far as the lack of uh, price shortage or excuse me chip shortages. So I'm happy that this is something's happening, for the positive. So we'll see about this too. And also, May is pretty much my birthday month, towards coming close towards the end of the month, which is funny. And who knows, probably I'll end up saving a GPU for my birthday and probably have it as a spare, which, hey, who knows, something so I'm willing to consider. So yeah, I would love to get something like that and try it out for the heck of it. Why not? Because over on Tom's Guide, which says here in the article, which says now might finally be the time to begin seeking out where to buy an NVIDIA G4 RTX 3080, as prices for it and the rest of the G4 30 series cards are taking a tumble, and restocks are appearing to last longer. According to 3D Center's prices analysts, for new graphics card, retail prices are on a downtrend and might finally normalize in May, to the extent you may be able to buy a powerful NVIDIA or AMD GPU for its MSRP. So manufacturing sell retail price, which that's what it means. And hardware makers like Asus told our colleagues over at PC Gamer that it's reducing MSRP aggressively for its graphics card across all configurations. Best Buy is one of the retailers that certainly has a number of RTX 3080 GPUs in stock, and this is great news. Finally, everybody can breathe right now. And honestly, I mean, I'm sure that people that pretty much had to wait everything aside, and if you're a gamer yourself, or if you're a video editor, or whatever content you're doing, it is about time to kind of breathe a little bit. Hey, right now it's April 1st. Next month is May. So you guys are going to experience, uh, able to experience and get a new graphics card coming right into your doorstep. About time, really. And we didn't even know when this may end up normalizing with the prices, but is it will this be about time where uh however will this be about time that this short what do you call it this shortage may even last? I don't know. it I mean, the normalization will kind of last some point long. um who knows, probably in a few months, and then the price will end up coming back because again, it's really funny how inflation works because again, people, and it's funny because a lot of people are kind of sticking up for inflation and trying are pretty much sticking it up because when I say sticking it up, because they'll end up buying whatever price point it is out in the market, and a lot of people will end up accepting inflation. This is just an indicator of inflation with these graphics cards. I don't know. I don't know because while whatever you guys think about this, to me, I mean, this is a good thing that there's not going to be any more shortages. Excuse me. Gosh, I can't even say. Man, words are so difficult. Chip shortages that pretty much came around since 2020 and 2021 because of the COVIDs. So you have to understand that all this that's been going around with this, I mean, it's a good time. It's about time that we see some normalization in the markets. However, will this last? I'm not too sure because again, um, as far as I'm aware, I'm not an economic and a guy that studied about economics that long to know about how long things will normalize, especially in the electronic world. But hey, if you already know that a price of iPhone is going to be higher, a price of an Android phone is going to be pretty high, then I I know for one thing is be expected what's going to happen down the road economically because prices are definitely going to continue to soar more and more as time goes on. I'm again we've I mean we're seeing a lot of things happening. I mean the electronic world is I don't know it's kind of funny because how things are going with the electronic world, it's going to continue to go high. I'm not very bullish that the price will normalize for a long time. I am very bearish because I am very skeptical of what's going to happen with things way things are going, especially with the GPUs and definitely in the PC market. It will definitely be a good thing that there's going to be a lot of young people are going to take advantage, not just the gaming world, but the streaming world, because a lot of people are interested in making content. And right now, there's money out there to be made to go out and make content. You know, what I can say is good thing, you know, and good for those people that are actually making some moolah streaming and whatnot too. But of course, I've always said that, hey, it's a challenge, but it can happen. Go ahead and take advantage of what's going to happen right now, because while prices are stabilized, you guys will never know if the prices will end up going back high like what we've seen. Because again, I may, who knows? I'll just kind of take this article for a grain of salt right as of now, but I'm not too sure that this will this normalization will last. I mean, hey, anybody can count me wrong on this, but you make uh your due well diligence on this. So go ahead and tell me what you think. I'll be interested to find out what everybody thinks about the prices and the stabilization of the MSRP prices. So, because I hope I'll be able to get my hands on it around May, but we'll find out. We'll see. So, next, I want to go over on a topic that I wanted to talk about, which is Allturn space. So, a project that I wanted to go out publicly about, which is something that me and a friend Michael, that I've known with pretty much we've known each other since about over 3 years now. I would say approximately about 5 years now, per se too. Yeah, I would say about. Oh gosh, time flies already. It has been 5 years. Holy cow! So yeah, I've known each other over the interwebs, and we met online, and we've just kept in touch with each other since. So really cool individual that I'm working on a project right now, and this is pretty much a decentralized social media network that we're going over. It's very decentralized, and we're making this our Web 3.0 project, very something that we're giving users power of decentralizations and privacy, which we are very excited to work on and get this project rolling. I love it because what we're seeing with the world social media, especially with the Twitters and the Facebooks, and the way they're handling privacy on a on a very discreet and unorderly fashion. And again, I hate to go over what they've done in the past because I've already said this in previous episodes. So I'm not going to echo things what I've said before. I definitely want to go over this episode and talk about Allturn dot space and our coin. I mean, this is going to be very big, and to me, the way I want to definitely promote this for one, our coin especially is going to be decentralized, and it's going to be worked throughout the ecosystem. Which I mean, happy that this is coming into fruition because we've talked about this late of last year. Yeah, I would say late of last year around October. But however, this project is a very, very serious project. Where we're at it with Altern dot space, right now we're in the alpha session of uh, Alterns dot space, and we're still working on the coin. In fact, we had to, like me and Michael, we're definitely working on revising the coin, and there's a lot of things with that's why we're going back at it because I think there's um, a lot of work that definitely needs to be done with it, and especially with alternate space. Uh, I love the coin, and especially what we're doing with it with our own ecosystem right there too. Now, like I've said right from the bat, that is going to be decentralized. I mean, we're probably while when we head to the beta stages and probably in the stable stages, it's gonna show a lot of its form of decentralization. It's gonna start off centralization first, just because we definitely want the website to be to just to be up, and so that way people can read the white paper where we're at with Allturn.space. But I mean, right there, we're gonna give the documentations, the um, what we're presenting to everybody with Allturn space, what we're definitely showing with Allturn.space, and what we're capable of with this new project. Now, I won't give out too much further details from the podcast because I know that a lot of people that are going to end up asking, "Oh, what is this coin about? What is this? How does this work?" Well, I will tell you that we definitely want to make Allturn.space the website and how to use our um, ATSX coin on a stable and something that we want to make it very stable for not just us but you as users as well to experience what this project will be about. And this is going to like this project is going to be long term, so about 2 to 4 year project. I would say for the least. I mean, we just started this year, and so we've had a lot of ways to go for this to be fully stable. And now the other question with Allturn.space, now it is going to be a altcoin. Now, unlike like the people with BTC, of course we're definitely going to approach this to people that are into for cryptocurrency influencers first, and we're looking for people that are interested in the alts. And why I'm not approaching this to like the BTC maximalists, because I think that the maximalists are pretty much are monolithically focused on just BTC and not focused on the alts, because that's not important to them. And what's important is like bitcoins alone. And I find that to be very single minded of them to, and also not just single minded focus, but very singly minded foolish that they're gonna focus on Bitcoin, because I don't like where Bitcoin as a protocol it is at the moment. It is very slow and it's very unstable. I mean, while the price is high on Bitcoin, which is now what the price on it as of today is what 45. If I'm reading it correctly. In fact, let me just check. Let me just go over. So, price of okay. So the price of Bitcoin is now 45K right now. So I mean, it's good. It's still pretty stable. I mean, that's not a big issue. I mean, I find that that's good right there too. But I think our protocol could be better than the Bitcoin protocol in many ways. But I don't want this to be such a competitor right there, because first of all, um, both of our protocol um, with Space and Bitcoins are actually very differently run. So, I mean, right now, I don't want to kind of downplay Bitcoin, because I mean, hey, I was one of the first few people that understood Bitcoin when Bitcoin came around, yeah, much earlier than I have discovered it, around 2013. I have to say though, however, Bitcoin is over 10 years old. The protocol is very slow, and right now you have a lot of potential coins, especially like Ethereum, and the other one that has less gas fees, which is um, Polygon or Matic, which has one of the lowest gas fees as of right now. And I like that um, there's that low gas fees pricing, because right now we don't want to go with the Ethereum network. I mean, at first we thought about Ethereum or ETH 20, but we're just gonna stick with the Matic network right now too. So because of Matic and how cheap it is, because I think it's um Matic has a lot of potential, and that's what I'm trying to say. It has a lot of potential, and we want our coin to run on simply on Matic at the moment. A Matic. So yeah, go and check out Matic if you don't know what it is. I recommend looking over on Matic, Matic, which is run on Polygon, and the project is very. It's going to be run really good on Matic. I love Matic. Something I love about because for one, it is not a slow network like Ethereum or Bitcoin protocol. And I think there's going to be so much potential behind Matic. Not because I think that it will do well, but because not because I think, but I know it will do well. Because that's one thing I like about Matic when I was talking to the CEO, my friend Michael, uh, over the other line, which we've talked about this privately, and I think Matic will serve us as a good head start for our company, and there's a lot of potential behind it too. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited where this is going to go with our new and latest project moving forward. And so I am very happy. And I won't get into the details as of yet. I will tell you that the alpha stage for the website is here now. You guys, anybody can sign up with allturn.space. So the website is allturn.space. ALLTURN dot space. So that's our link. So you guys can go and check it out there and sign up. It does have a lot of the social media features that you come to expect, especially with something similar to Facebook's UI. But of course, we're not gonna try to copy anything like Facebook by all means. But we want to approach something that things like Facebook or Twitter haven't come in or haven't approached to the ideas that we've all thought about right now too. So I mean, again, users' feedback is going to be very important. So if you want to, if you have any questions or any issues, please contact me or Michael, which is username is be it me not you, and go ahead and check out our website because it is open to the public right now on the alpha stage, so you guys can read up the state from stage 1 all the way to stage 4. So I believe it's stage 1 through stage 5, not sure, but yeah, it's somewhere between the lines between stage 1 through 4 or stages 1 through 5. So go ahead, check out the blueprints, and please leave your feedback on would be most appreciated too as well. We do have a Discord, so if you want to join the community, go ahead and check out the Discord. So much appreciated as well. And yeah, thank you so much for doing that. It'd be great to hear everyone's feedback. So last and not least, I want to go ahead and pretty much give out everything what I've been looking over the the news all over the internet and what's been happening as of recent of this week, and everyone's been talking about it pretty much from your friends to your mom to everyone that's been it's just been a crazy. Let me just say this too, it's just been wild and very distasteful what we've experienced right from the beginning of the internet. The lot of memes are going at it with I'm sure the controversial issue between Will and Rock, Will Smith and Chris Rock. So I'm no, I'm not the guy that ever talks about pop culture or acting, nothing like that at all too. Man, I'd say that the memes for these two actors, it's just been meme worthy. If I could put it this way, I'm not too sure what to put it because a lot of nutty things has been happening throughout the internet, and I have to say though, this has been very distasteful. You know, when people, I remember years ago, and I was young back then too. I remember watching Will Smith and so much that I've seen throughout his movie career. especially with Hitch, Men in Black, Independence Day. So many films that you've come to love with Will Smith. I have to say though, I like the both actors respectfully, but man, I have to say though, there's been a lot of big news right in the very beginning of the week, especially the memes has been really funny. Like for instance, like the slap memes haven't been any funnier. I actually had to save some memes for pretty much for personal reasons. Honestly though, um this guy something I have to talk about because almost everyone from their mom is talking about it, and why not? Because I might as well talk about something that's going on in the interwebs, in the culture of it. And look, I think that the presence of the Oscars is supposed to be in a form of very lightheartedness, and that was not supposed to be a very serious event at all. But the way I heard it, and a lot of people have taken it, I think there was a lot of mixed reception, right? Especially people wants to take sides of which person did this and that, right? I personally don't care of taking sides. I honestly don't. Um, but however, I think the person that is in fault of it um is is definitely Will Smith. He's in big fault of this because for one, I have to say though, I love comedy, and he said something that was very lighthearted. It was not the most major offense, you know. And I've heard much worse jokes in my life, and I've said this in a another podcast, in another interview about this, where for one, I think where I if I could paraphrase what I've said some months back was, I remember when I've talked to God um to somebody about comedy and how comedy is going about it in today's world. You know, I I love comedy, and I really hated that comedy it's pretty much has just taken such a bad serious toll. It's not a good feeling. A lot of people have pretty much always have taken such big offense to comedy. And for one, I don't like how people have such a have such a soft spot. I hate it, that where it's going. First of all, a lot of jokes are always taken into the expense out of everyone. If you first of all, if you cannot take a joke, don't go to a comedy club. You know, do not go to an Academy Awards. And unfortunately, the way things have turned out, it is very disgusting. And I have to bring it up because one, I hate how it's turned out to be. In fact, the way, I mean, a lot of people have said this really well. A lot of people have commented on this, and to me, I do not advocate for violence just because somebody said some words that you did not like, right? And the funny thing about this is Will Smith laughed on the joke, and then the wife, however, she didn't. She had her eyes rolled, but and then it's quite stupid because uh here he goes standing up for the wife, and I'm sure that Jada is more capable of standing up for herself on this too. In fact, the fact is that this was not the most offensive joke, and yet you have to go up on stage so you can so you could be pretty much a man about it, and so that way you can slap the shit out of Chris Rock, which by the way I highly respect now over Will Smith on. And and it's awfully disgusting where nobody over at the award ceremony stood up against this, and that's this is crazy enough because
people are very spineless and very complacent of the situation, and they want to suck the teeth out of the Hollywood machine. At Jamie Kennedy, that I follow up a lot now, and I've just started following up on Jamie Kennedy. If you don't know who he is, he's a comedian as well, a comedian and actor, and he's acted on movies and television shows too. And if you want to look up Jamie Kennedy, please look him up. He's really he's really good. I love his comedy sketches. His show, The Jamie Kennedy Experiment, in the early 2000s. Yeah, look him up. In fact, he's commented something that I thought of the same thing as well. It's really disheartening, and also that he said the same thing. I wanted to definitely give a shout out to Jamie Kennedy of what he commented on too. And in fact, he's mentioned pretty much basically the same thing what Jim Carrey has brought up. In fact, he brought up how spineless Hollywood is. In fact, he's 100% right. And and the fact that Jim Carrey and Will Smith basically they're on that same level, and he understands how Hollywood is operating. And my question on this to people, and I'm sure there's going to be people not defending Will Smith, and then people who are defending Will Smith on his actions. And my problem about this is, uh, I'm sure this will hurt Will Smith, long term, because first of all, you're in the Academy Awards, and you've made this publicly, out in the open for hundreds of millions. Not just in national. This is not national news. This is globally, where people watch you. People outside the United States do watch the Oscars still. So look of that right there too. That how much of an embarrassment that son of a bitch that he went out and slapped the shit out of Chris Rock, which, by the way, another respected, legendary comedian, as own right there too. And honestly, even Chris Rock, when he took the slap, he took it like a professional and just kept going right after that slap that he that he faced right there. In fact, when I read on other news like the aftermath, Chris Rock said that he will not press charges, and you know it's that's ballsy because even Kerry said in the interview on CBS, from an interview, he said that if I was in Chris's position, I would have announced this morning that I would sue Will Smith for $200 million. And but however, Chris Rock didn't, and it is quite ballsy that he didn't. And so, in fact, that he wouldn't want to do this. In fact, I'm sure that that lawsuit will would have taken Chris Rock a long time, but instead he didn't, and a lot of his fans, Chris Rock fans, gave a lot of respect to him, and not just his fans, but a lot of comedians are actually standing up to Chris because of this situation too. In fact, that only made Chris Rock even even more popular because of the whole situation. And plus, Will Smith, he's no respected actor at all. And to me, I don't care what he does next, and I don't care what he does next. He will not get a single dime from me anymore because of what he did out there too. And look, and I've said this online that, and when I've talked to friends, to a friend about this privately and publicly, and I do not want to normalize violence like this too out in public. First of all, should this really be? And I'm sure there's been other comments, and I'm not going to get into many comments where a lot of people say, "Oh, that slap must have been fake. They did it for publicity." I'm not too sure, to tell you the truth, because I almost sounded very real, and it's hard to it's hard to say that how that how this stop was I don't know, acted. There's no way you can really fake it. There's no way you can fake that sound and do that. And hell, do I know any better if this was staged? I don't know. And to me, probably I don't think so. But I think it's very humiliating, and but the way that Rock stood up there, took the slap, and continue on forward, and went ahead and announced, end up going out to the next thing about the documentary was actually professional. He didn't went back at will, nothing like that, and it just kind of tells you the kind of character that Chris Rock is, other than that little weak man Will Smith is. It honestly, the respect that Chris Will Smith has is very very little, and right through the aftermath, and a little funny. I won't say it's that funny, but a little funny enough. Like right afterwards, I'm sure that their tour with Chris Rock, uh, that's I think it's gonna start within the next few days with Chris Rock. He's gonna be starting a show on, I believe, on April 6th on in Atlantic City, right? If I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken. Actually, his tour just started around March 30th. However, there was actually some news right afterwards that what had happened was that he, in the next few days, he's going to be going to Atlantic City, New Jersey. So now his tickets, if what I've heard from different outlets and different sources, that his tickets has soared. And just so what I mean about soared, a lot of people have purchased Chris Rock tickets because of the amount of respect that a lot of people gave to Chris, because of the fact that he is now so popular right now, because the way things have happened right in the aftermath, people are like, you know what, um, we there's no way we're gonna they're gonna nobody's gonna disrespect Chris Rock, and a lot of people have given a lot of respect to Chris about this too. I mean, the people have spoken, for God's sakes, and right now his tour already started about 2 days ago, and so the Atlantic City one, which is over on Bortaga Event Center, and that right there sold within minutes, and overnight it's sold out. So that is a sold out event over in Atlantic City. So you know that he's now so popular at this point, and in fact, even before I speaking about upon this too, there in the Fox Theater over in Atlanta, and I was looking over at some news a few days ago that the price and also his tickets are sold out in the Fox Theater in Atlanta. And now the prices for Chris Rock's tickets have shot up, because now he's very popular, and a lot of people want to go out and see him instead of seeing a Will Smith movie. I mean, isn't that something? And honestly, if I can say whose fault that is, for doing for making this very explicit and very much who's complacent about it, it's pretty much basically the Hollywood machine that are very explicit. And what I hated the most about the fact that behind the whole scenes, what had happened to Chris Rock, which I think it's very very sad that they this is the route that they have to go. And it's really dumb that it's dumb for the worst, really. It really is. And that, to me, I honestly have to agree. The rest of the establishment, and first of all, the Hollywood machine does not have a spine. and all the actors that didn't call out on Will, what he did, and especially the Academy Awards in that whole big uh, speech um, that he gave out. It was just an act. The whole commemorative speech was just a big ass act. You, I mean, it doesn't feel believable. Look, I know that he won the award for best actor on King Richard, but still, I don't even give a flying fucking crap to see King Richard with the big theatrics that he made with that commemorative speech on the Oscars on Sunday. I mean, it's fucking disrespectful what he did. And I honestly or personally don't give a shit to see another movie with Will Smith anymore. And it makes you wonder uh, how bad he looks now because of the whole scene. It just brings him such a negative light. And I know people will end up defending him, say that, oh, he had the right to do that because to defend his woman and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, that doesn't give the excuse to slap another person down. And right there, what makes me disgusted is reading people on the internet giving the defense towards Will. And really, you've got to think about how illogical some people are with some of the comments that they've put down. It doesn't make sense. These people have no spine, no backbone whatsoever to make that defense to defend Will Smith on that. And I'm sure there's people who are going to defend him, blah blah blah. And what he did was right to defend his woman with that horrible, nasty joke. But that joke doesn't even come anywhere worse in my own definition. It is disgusting, and the way Hollywood has put themselves in is very slimy. It's not a good light on them. It really is not. Horrible. Just fucking horrible, really. So, yeah. That's one of my words I gotta say about what had happened in the culture of the internet, the things that's been going on, especially with things like that. In fact, Chris Rock has definitely earned my respect for not fighting back over Will. Very, very wrong on his part, and his reputation is going to be down the drain if not the moment, probably in a long time, because there's not going to be any acting gigs right there. No, I really don't think so. I mean, you cannot recover from that. The way you did, what you did in front of millions, you cannot recover from that scene that you've just made in front of hundreds of people. There's a lot of witnesses. People saw what you did, and you went up out of your seat and slapped the shit out of Chris Rock is not a good light for you. Not at all. But anyways, I would just definitely want to put this to an end, and hopefully you guys love the podcast and what you've heard. I hope you enjoyed what you've heard from today's episode. So if my schedule is right by next week for episode 179, we'll see though. I'll give you guys the update on my latest feeds on Instagram or Twitter, wherever you guys follow me on. Please be sure to follow me on when the next episode is going to be. So I will continue on talking more about technology, but so far there hasn't been a lot of good info I haven't picked up to, but there's going to be a lot of good tech and a lot of good information coming out your way. But with that said, we're going to put this podcast on a close, and definitely want to say to everybody, thanks for listening, because this podcast has been a long push and long grind from here too for me. So with that said, everybody, thank you so much for coming over, taking a listen over on episode 178 of today's podcast, and I hope you enjoyed it. Take care. So long. Farewell. Bye. Oh, damn. Cannot believe I had to talk about the Chris Rock slapping scandal, which I never thought I would talk about it. Oh, thank you. I'm glad I made this through out of this podcast. So, guys, thank you so much for coming over and taking a listen. If you like this episode, please be sure to give a like, subscribe, or wherever you listen to me on, either if it's Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, whatever. Please throw in a follow if you want to hear more episodes like this. Thanks so much for coming over and taking time to listen to me. Goodbye.